Well, hello, and welcome to another edition of Sports Card ASMR. I'm the Sports Card Doctor, and I'm truly happy that you have decided to join us here today. This is a channel that combines ASMR relaxation and sports card nostalgia, and we would love it if you'd like this video and subscribe. It's good to be back. I've been away for about a week, which means there's a lot of, man, this table's getting kind of dirty, and I'll say it, sticky. We don't like sticky. Sticky's only good in like 2% of things in life. I'll let you answer which ones. I'm not here to guide your life in that regard, but I do think we need to clean our workspace. To do that, I'm definitely going to need some water. And maybe some sprays. This is for you waterheads and you spray heads. That's like a, there you go. I got rid of the sticky thing right there. All right. We're going to need a lot of space there today. Okay. So, we are going to open up several packs of cards today, and thank you to those who are enjoying the Crinkle and Rip series on Fridays. We might find some Legends cards today. Legend cards like Freddie Freeman, a hero among many this past week in baseball. Warren Moon, a hero to fans of the run and shoot offense. Honky Tonk Man, a fan of the greatest intercontinental champion of all time. There's Angry Carlton Fisk, or as he's also known, Carlton Fisk. Steeler legend Rod Woodson. Mustache legend Carney Lansford. And there's legend cards like Randy Milligan. Still one of the greatest. There's legends like Did You Just Do What I Think You Did, Chip Haleface. Bobby, I think that's Bobby Valentine. I can't tell. Maybe someone different. Or this, oh my god, I thought we put this one to bed. I thought I did not have to ever see this card again. I thought this was done. I thought I was done with this card. But here it's back. It's back. I thought it was absolutely done with this card. Now I have to. There's kids watching. I can't. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. So we might find some legend cards to add to that stack, and if we find cards of great value, we of course will open up our penny sleeves sent to us by our friend Eric. If you'd like to send us anything, cards to open, protective sleeves, hate mail, there's an address listed down below. Hopefully we'll find some great cards today. Now, we're going to do something. We're in the middle at the time of this recording. We're in the middle of the World Series. As a New York Yankee fan, I'm a little stressed at the time of this recording. We're down 2-0. I hope it gets better. So, baseball's on my mind, but also cleaning up my workspace is on my mind. And I want to finish a series that we had started. Now, the series will continue after these cards are gone, but we're going to take this box of 1991 Topps. We're going to take the 1, 2, 7 packs of cards. And we are going to draft a baseball team based on 1991 values. Not price values, emotional values and skill values. Now this box of 1991 Topps has been with us since the launch of this channel because it's been with me since 1991. We've highlighted this before. Some of the tape that we used to repair it, and you can go watch that video in which we repaired this box of cards. It's been around. It's been through a lot of life. And as much as I love having boxes of random cards from 30 plus years ago, I also think it's time to move forward on some of these nostalgic connections. Not here with the cards or this channel, but the piles of junk in my office. So today, we're going to say goodbye to this box. And we're going to draft some baseball players. You know what I'm saying. In fact, I'm a little discombobulated. We're going to do this right now. Okay? We're just jump right in. Okay? This might hurt for some of you. I understand it. Just making it easier for the recycling. I break down, on average, 72 boxes of Amazon delivery boxes at my house weekly. I think I order 2 of them. So you gotta break this stuff down, okay? Ooh, sorry, that was a little loud. Hopefully got a lot of scissor heads in the audience today. I want to remind people that this is an ASMR channel first, which is why I'm busy cutting. Look at that. Now we can recycle this box easier. Alright, and then of course, look at these cards on the bottom. Worth a lot. We got Dwight Dewey Evans, Fredo Griffin, another Carlton Fisk, and Ricky Henderson doing some sort of dance there. There was a point in time when I was a kid, like actually a kid, not the emotional kid I am now, where I would have been like, oh yeah, you've got to collect these. I need a Dwight Evans bottom of the box card to complete my collection. Absolutely. Don't turn that down. I would have given you a lot of things in a trade for this Alfredo Griffin. My thought being, if this former Rookie of the Year was on the bottom of the box, probably meant he was really valuable. So there we go. Look at that. Quite frankly, that could just be the video today. I could stop right here. Cardboard. Flakes everywhere. Okay. There we go. All right. Let's get right to it. As you know, if you've seen this before, we're going to draft a team of cards, players of these cards, based on their 1991 values in our hearts. So let's do it. Very excited that we have a Dave Valley in there already to choose from. Ooh, look at that. That's just a good card to have. I don't know if that's a card that's going to make me rich, but I like that. Ooh, Danny Darwin. Oddly enough, Darwin might be worth more than Randy at this point. David Segui. We're going to have a lot of choices. Look at that Andres Galarraga. That's a good card. I forgot about that one. Got a lot of gum to break. 1991 Topps, 40th anniversary. Of Topps. There we go. Put that there. Got ourselves a Mike Gallego. Ooh, Brian Downing. We got to draft a DH. That could work. I'm doing some rapid opening and crinkling here. I'm going to have a lot of time to draft this thing. Okay. Vicente Palacios. We need a middle relief pitcher. Alright. Here it is. This is kind of historic. This is the final pack of 1991 Topps from my own box of 1991 Topps that I probably got at a Costco in Santa Maria, California in 1991. Here we go. Alright, got ourselves an Eddie Whitson. There we go. Dave Bergman. We got some superstars here. Alright, this gum feels like we're going to get some good cracks. Let's get some gum cracks going. Oh yeah. Alright, I'm going to move this microphone a little closer for these last few. There we go. Okay, look at that. Gum has been cracked. up here. We're going to look through the cards we got and see how we can do in our team. I'm going to divide them up as I go to infield, outfield, pitchers, catchers. We got Dave Bergman, Geronimo Pena, Henry Cotto, a goddamn checklist, Zane Smith, Pet Borders, there you go, Neil Heaton with that screw knuckle change he threw, Joe, keep him in the clink, Joe, lock him up in the clink, however Chris Berman would want to do that, Jeff Ballard, Jeff King, later would grow a mustache and become a superstar, Craig Worthington, a Gold Cup Robin Ventura in 1919 Chicago White Sox throwback uniforms there. It's a good one there. We have to lock that one away. Frank Wells, Mike Greenwell, Eddie Winston, still smarting a black guy from Billy Martin, Vincente Palacios, a manager card there, we need that, Mike Perez, Sil Campusano, number 1 draft pick pitcher Ronnie Walden, Hall of Famer Robin Yount, Dave Walsh, the Governor, Jerry Brown, Cy Young Award winner Steve Bedrosian, Mark Knudsen, Tim Layana, Terry Schumpert, Steve Sachs, my man, there we go, Carmelo Castillo, Bobby Cox, we got 2 Hall of Fame managers here, Brian Downing, outfielder, could be D. Former 1985 Rookie of the Year, Ozzie Guillen. Luis Salazar, he can be both, but was mostly a middle infielder. Nelson Santovino. Mike Boddicker with mustache. Paul Merrick. Ken Oberkfell. Mike Gallego. Mike Jeffcoat. We've got criminal Roberto Alomar. Donnie Baseball, love that choice. Mark Gubasa, Chris Bosio, Alex Cole, he and his up-and-coming speed there. Another Hall of Famer, Frank Robinson. Ooh. Andres Galarraga, the big cat. Another Craig Worthington, so we'll set aside that double. Look at that, another Robin Ventura. You know, we'll set that aside. We've got Frank Wells. Another Mike Greenwell, another Eddie Winston. Oh, Benito Santiago. We have this card in our collection, and we do love that one. David Segui, Bill Sample, Al Osuna, world champion Joe Oliver. We got Dwayne Henry, another goddamn checklist. We got Tim Bertzos, Mike Stanton, love that as a Yankee fan, Danny Darwin, Gerald Young, like seriously, just come on now. John Franco, we do have to build that bullpen. John Cerruti, if this was 1987, I'm taking Cerruti. We've got Derek May. We've got one of the ultimate answers if you're still playing Immaculate Grid. Jamie Quirk, of course, played for the Royals, Brewers, Royals again, Cardinals, White Sox, Cleveland, Royals again, Yankees, Athletics, Orioles, Athletics. He's good for a lot of Immaculate Grid answers. We got Gary Ward, closer extraordinaire Brian Harvey, Gary Arias, Tim Wallach, Paul Gibson, Steve Wilson. We got ourselves a junior. A 1991 Ken Griffey Jr. Look at that. It's a little off-center, so we're not completely excited, but that's there. Domingo Ramos, and then the Randy Johnson we saw. That's a good card there. Be careful with that one. Mark Winton. We got Mitch Williams. Blackjack McDowell. Jose Canseco All-Star. We've got Tommy Herr. Oops, I put that in the wrong stack. Al Newman. Darryl Boston. Joe McGrain. Jesse Barfield. Teddy Higuera. Bobby Thigpen. Our bullpen's going to be strong. Sergio Valdez. Dave Valley. It's a good Dave Valley card right there. The neighbors' dogs are excited about this. Carmelo Martinez, outfield, first base, mostly an outfielder. Kevin Bass, someone alert John Jabs that the past is alive. Billy Hatcher, manager John Wathen, Joe Heskett. Paul Sorrento, not Serpentor. Another Randy Johnson. Oh, okay, that's good. Brian Cray, Bert Neckert. We've got the rare Ozzy Canseco sighting. That's, you don't see that a lot there. Look at that. I'm not going to draft him, but good to have. Catcher, Gino Petrolli. Carlos Quintana. Lee Smith, Hall of Fame closer. That's a great card. That's a great 91 Topps. I got to tell you something. I think 91 Topps is unrated. They did a lot of really good design with some of their cards. It's really good. Just look at that. It's a work of art right there, that Lee Smith. And final card, Cal Daniels. All right, let's build our team here. And you know what? First things first, I'm gonna seal up this Randy Johnson in a penny sleeve, and maybe we'll graduate it to and check on some pricing on that as I ruin the edges there. Okay, where's that Robin Ventura? Just for bleeps and giggles, we're gonna save this Robin Ventura as well. Okay, look at that. Alrighty, that's why we have these penny sleeves. I'm gonna need more soon. Preserved or preserved? All right, there we go. All right, let's pick our catcher first here. Our catcher. Who's our starting catcher for this team? Again, remember, we're not looking at the entire career. We're kind of going back to 1991 and thinking who would make the best starting catcher. Gino Petrolli, Dave Valley, Jamie Quirk, Joe Oliver, Benito Santiago, Nelson Santovina, and Pat Borders. Some solid catchers for the era. Borders at this time, had that kind of maybe he'll start and be an all-star one day, just hit 15 home runs in 1990. Would be a key contributor to their world champion teams, but not quite there. Nelson Santovina wasn't the Gary Carter of a new generation there. I mean, at this point, Joe Oliver's coming off a World Series team here, but backup material. Jamie Quirk's the ultimate backup. Great card for Valley, but he's a backup. Gino Petrolli might have had Nolan Ryan's trust, but I think the easy answer here is Benny, as they call him on this card, Santiago. Benito Santiago. All right, that's our catcher. First base. What do we got? King could play first base, but we're going to hold him at third. And Dave Bergman. That might be our choice. Dave Bergman might be our choice. First baseman. Dave Bergman. Don Mattingly. Andres Galarraga. David Segui. Paul Sorrento. Carlos Quintana. I think the easy choice is Dave Bergman. I kid. It comes down to these two guys. Now we're going. This is tough. This is one of my favorite players, but I was also a big Expo fan. Great card. Fun card. Look at the smile on his face. He's like, oh, this is going to be a great card. Remembered for ages. Now, in 1991, Donnie Baseball was coming off his worst season. The bat gave out 5 home runs, 42 RBIs, 256 average. Kevin Moss was the future. It was a short future. But he's still Donnie Baseball, and he'd rebound a little bit in 1991. His career would never be the same. Big Cat was not the Big Cat that you remember from Colorado at this time. Those numbers were pretty good and better than Matt at least. But I'm sorry, he might be in line for the DH. We gotta go Donnie Baseball. I can't even come close to not picking Donnie Baseball. Sorry about that. Alright, let's look at the middle infield there. Second and shortstop. Okay, this is a good. We got a great card again. 1991 Topps, underrated. I know Upper Deck and Score are dominating the photography in the sports card game at this point, but you got Walt Weiss jumping over Joel Skinner. Great card. He's in line for a shortstop for sure. Al Newman, if we do, utility no. Tommy Herr, great. If this was 1987, I'm picking Tommy Herr in a heartbeat, but it's not. Domingo Ramos, apologize. We do have Roberto Alomar. Personally, I don't enjoy Roberto Alomar's name being brought up in baseball, but here he is. And in 1991, he wasn't quite the Hall of Famer, but he was looking good. Mike Gallego, solid defender, all 5'1" of him, and he was like 5'8". But he's not our choice. Ken Oberkfell, if this was 1982, Oberkfell might be our choice. There we go. We got Guillen at short. Second. Shumpert, Brown, Pena. No. No. All right. We are looking at these options. Steve Sachs, Roberto Alomar. Call me sacrilegious, but this is 1991, and Steve Sachs is an all-star, going into his third year with the Yankees during a horrible era. Roberto Alomar is a future Hall of Famer, but we don't know that at this point. In fact, you might think Steve Sachs is more in line to be in the Hall of Fame. Now, in the future, he'd commit some heinous acts of crimes that disqualifies him emotionally for me, but I'm trying to be realistic, and I still think being realistic, Sachsy's the guy. Shortstop is a battle between two former rookies of the year, Guillen and Walt Weiss. Guillen, not known for his offense, though he did steal some bases back then. Walt Weiss known a little bit more for his offense, but still, it's about defense. In 1990, he hit 2 home runs, drove in 35, whereas Guillen hit 1 home run, but did drive in 58. Defensively, I think Weiss has the advantage, but I do recall Guillen, again, not an offensive stalwart in any way, shape, or form, but I think you had a little bit more potential from his bat. I loved Walt Weiss as a youngster, but I'm gonna go with Guillen. Now we're at third base. Jim Presley, Tim Wallach, Luis Salazar, Robin Ventura, or Jeff King, or Craig Worthington. All right. Presley, at one point, was an interesting option, especially in his 86 year with the Mariners. Wallach, great third baseman. His peak, 87, had that big year. Late 80s, would have some good years with the Dodgers, but I think we don't need to delay this anymore. It's Robin Ventura. Okay, there we go. That's our starting infield and catcher right there. Let's go towards our 3 outfield spots right here. I hope you're commenting down below the mistakes I'm making. Robin Yount, future Hall of Famer, but even by this point, he was a top star. Cal Daniels is an option. Ozzie Canseco. I keep trying to say Jose Canseco. That's an amazing card. We're gonna preserve this card. I'm not picking him for this team, but I'm putting him in our legends section right there. Brian McRae is on the bubble. Billy Hatcher, no. Kevin Bass, Alert John Jabs, not on the team. Nor is Carmelo Martinez. Barfield might be. Boston is not. Jose Canseco will count the All-Star card. Mark Whitten. Ken Griffey Jr. Gary Reedus. Gary Ward. Derek May. Gerald Young, he could steal some bases there. Alex Cole, everyone was ready for him to break the 100 stolen base barrier, but he did not. Brian Downey might be our DH. Carmelo Castillo, Sil Capasano, Mike Greenwell's close. Henry Cotto, no. So these guys, not going to be picked. Who is going to be in the outfield with Robin Yount? Right now I'm putting Yount in right. You have Greenwell, Griffey, Canseco, Barfield, McRae, Cal Daniels, Greenwell, I loved him, great swing. No. Griffey, absolutely. Canseco, absolutely. Love Jesse, McRae, Daniels, good players. But that is a very good starting outfield for 1991. Canseco hadn't yet hit a home run with his head yet. And Yount had not slowed down, coming off a big 89 season. Still going strong here. Griffey on the rise, but even in 1991, you want him on your team. So that is our starting outfield right there. Okay, sliding along here. We need to pick our starting rotation and our bullpen. So let's divide that up. Lee Smith, Joe Hesketh, Sergio Valdez, Bobby Thigpen. There's a starter. There's a starter. There's a starter. There's a bullpen. Oh, Randy again. Steve Wilson, Paul Gibson, Brian Harvey, John Cerruti's a good swingman. Franco, this is going to be a strong bullpen. Stanton in a couple of years would be a great lefty for the Yankees, but not quite here. Tim Burtsis looks like he has bursitis of the soul. No. Dwayne Henry, Al Osuna, look at those years. God bless you. Bill Sampson, Frank Wells. We got some good swingmen here. Mark Gubas, Jeff Coat, yeah. Paul Merrick. Bodeker's an option. Could be a fifth guy here. Liana coming out of the Yankees system. Mark Knudsen. I have a friend who's a comic with the last name Knudsen. Bedrock. No, Ronnie Walden, God bless you. Dodgers #1 pick. Future's not bright. Mike Perez. Vicente Palacios. Eddie Winston, starter. Another Frank Wills. Jeff Ballard. Joe Klink. And Neil Heaton and Zane Smith. Dear God, look at that Zane Smith card. He's just... You know what? He looks like he's doing a sports card ASMR price guide video. That's what he looks like. Okay. So these guys are going to go to the minor leagues. And we're going to look at our starting rotation here. Who's our 5 starters? Based on 1991 feelings. Zane Smith, a little bit of a rebound with the Pirates and Expos. Solid Brave pitchers during a down era in Atlanta. Neil Heaton, I should say, come back, made an all-star team in 1990. The screw-knuckle change is what he threw. But by this point, no. Jeff Ballard, an 18-game winner in 1989 for a horrible Orioles team. He kind of lost his spot in the rotation by 1990. So he's on the bubble. We might need him. Ed Whitson is not 1977 anymore, but he's a 14-game winner. He might go to the back of the rotation. Same could be said for Mike Bodeker, 17-game win season in 1990. Gubasov's not far removed from his 20-win season, coming off an injury. Still considering him, as we are Chris Bosio. Randy Johnson in 1991. He just won 14 games. He pitched a no-hitter. The future was brighter, but without a doubt, Randy makes a rotation. Blackjack McDowell, coming off 14-game win season. Good ERA. He had that year in 89 where he kind of had debuted in 87 and 88. Then he fell back in 89. It's back in 90. That's my rotation guy right there. Joe McGrain. He's a 10-game winner on a bad Cardinal team, but an 18-game winner the year before. He's making the team. Teddy Higuera. This is a 20-game winner. This is a guy who knew how to pitch big games for the Milwaukee Brewers, which I know doesn't seem like a lot. I'm putting him on the rotation. I actually am. So that is 4. Here's what I'm going to do. McGrain's my number 1. Johnson's my number 2. Blackjack my number 3. And my 4th is Teddy Aguirre. And we go with a 5-man rotation. No bullpen games here yet. Maybe we do that some other time. Who's my 5th starter? Bosio, Gubicza, Boddicker, Whitson. I'm going Gooby. These guys are... Bosio never became much more than a middle-of-the-rotation guy. These guys were at the end of the run. Mark Gubicza. That's my starting rotation right there. I like what we got going on. Okay. There it is. Gubicza, Aguirre, Blackjack McDowell, a young Randy Johnson, and Joe McGrain is their number 1. Let's pick, we got 5 or 6 we can put in the bullpen here. Make fun of them all you want, but this is a Cy Young Award winner. I'm keeping him there. Franco, keeping him. Cerruti, maybe. Brian Harvey, yes. We might need a lefty, but that lefty could be Mitch Williams, Bobby Thigpen, Lee Smith. This couldn't be easier. This couldn't be easier. This is a great bag for closers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. With apologies to Paul Gibson and his glasses, and John Cerruti and his broken arms that he's thrown. Wow, okay. This is our bullpen. Who's our actual closer? I think I'm going with Lee Smith, Thigpen, and William. No, I'd go for Thigpen and Franco, setting them up. I'd go middle of Williams and Harvey, and a long man in Steve Bedrosian. That is our bullpen. Oh, we're not yet to the managers. We got to go to the DH. We're going to give ourselves a DH slot here since it's universal now. Candidates include Andres Galarraga, maybe Saki, maybe Cal Daniels, definitely Jesse Barfield, definitely Mike Greenwell, Ricardo, Capasano, no. Brian Downing has to be considered. Now I know we don't do a bench. Maybe I will, just for fun here. Not a full bench, but just a couple guys. Tim Wallach is a DH to consider here. Who's my DH? Who's my DH? Who's your daddy? All right. Tim Wallach, Brian Downing, Mike Greenwell, Jesse Barfield, Cal Daniels, the big cat, Andres Galarraga. I'm telling you, I'm not even hesitating. It's the big cat. It's the big cat. That's who we got right there. All right. Who's my manager? Who's going to lead us through? Is it John Wathan? No. But look at these choices. Frank Robinson, Bobby Cox, Tony La Russa. If we're looking for a player manager from the 70s, I'd go with Frank. Frank, great baseball mind. I had the opportunity to meet him once at Dodger Stadium. Great executive, great ambassador for the game, one of my favorite players of all time. But I'm not, as a manager, he wasn't the world champion that you want him to be. Sorry, Frank. It comes down to Bobby Cox and Tony La Russa. Both have had off-field problems, let's be honest, but both are Hall of Famers. Both had great teams that didn't win as many world titles as you want them to win. The A's, 88, 90, upset. 89, they do win in a series marred by the earthquake. And after that, it's kind of it. But Bobby Cox, the Braves get the one big victory, win 95. Lose to my Yanks a couple times. Heartbreaking loss to the Blue Jays. But overall, who's going to guide this team? I think I trust Bobby Cox more than Tony La Russa. I don't know if I made the wrong decision here. You all let me know. But that's what I'm going. That's where I'm going. That's my team. Now here's what I want you to do. Benito Santiago, Don Mattingly, Steve Sachs, Ozzie Guillen, Robin Ventura, Jose Canseco, Ken Griffey Jr., Robin Yant, Andres Galarraga at DH. We got our starting rotation, we got our bullpen, we got our manager. If you would do me a favor and leave a comment with the batting lineup down below. Yes, that's going to help engagement, and I do want some engagement. Who doesn't want engagement? Engagement's fun. Engagement's a great fun thing. But I also want to know, who would you put in the lineup, in what order? Who's our leadoff guy? Steve Sachs? Maybe an easy answer. But who's our number 2? Robin Yount? Ken Griffey Jr. at this point in his career? Guillen might be number 9. Santiago maybe number 8. Ventura 7. But you got this log jam in the middle. Classic kind of number 3 at the time, but cleanup hitter too eventually. Mattingly, classic number 3 hitter. Griffey, one of the best of all time, but at this point in his career, I think you might bat him 2nd. Yount's a good number 2 at this point in his career, but I'd still maybe put him 3rd. Who's going to drop to 6 and have that ego blast? I don't know. You decide down below. So there you go. We've drafted this 1991 Topps baseball team. And I'm very excited to see this team play in your mind and mine. All right. That's it. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, tell your friends about it. Call up Andres Galarraga and say I made him the DH. We'll see you next time. Let's end this video. Rip up these goddamn checklists.